Paris, 1940. Nazi Germany occupies France. Anti-Jewish laws tighten by the month. Arrests begin, deportations follow. Across Europe, passports become more than documents. They become lifelines. But buried inside wartime archives is a little-known story. Claims that hundreds, perhaps thousands, of Jews in France received Iranian passports. Some say those passports saved lives. Others question exactly what happened and how far the operation went. Before World War II, a small but established Iranian Jewish community lived in France. Many were merchants, students, and professionals. Some had moved between Iran and Europe for generations. Approximately 150 Iranian Jews lived in France during the early years of WY. Iran at the time was officially neutral. That neutrality created unusual diplomatic opportunities in occupied Europe. And at the center of this story stood one man, Abdul Hossein Sardari. Sardari was Iran's acting consul in Paris after much of the diplomatic staff relocated south during the German occupation. These Jews, are they Iranian? They are Iranian citizens under the protection of the Iranian state. According to multiple historical accounts, Sardari argued that Iranian Jews belong to a distinct ethnic community and should not fall under Nazi racial laws. Nazi racial ideology was inconsistent and often contradictory. Sardari exploited those contradictions. Historians say Sardari issued or facilitated Iranian passports and identity papers for Jews in occupied France. Some recipients were genuine Iranian citizens. Others may not have been. There's still debate among scholars about exact numbers. Wartime records were incomplete, destroyed, or intentionally hidden. But surviving testimonies suggest Sardari used blank Iranian passports to help vulnerable Jews avoid deportation. The passport changed everything. Suddenly, we were no longer stateless. During Nazi occupation, nationality could determine survival. But how much of the story is documented fact, and how much became legend over time? Some accounts compare Sardari to Oskar Schindler. Others caution that evidence for exact numbers remains uncertain. What historians broadly agree on is this: Sardari attempted to protect Jews in occupied France through diplomatic intervention and passport assistance. Whether hundreds or thousands were saved, the moral significance remains enormous. After the war, Sardari's life did not become a triumphal story. He reportedly faced investigations and professional setbacks for issuing documents beyond official authorization. He later lived in relative obscurity and died in London in 1981. Decades later, historians and Jewish organizations revisited his actions during the Holocaust. The story also challenges modern assumptions about relations between Iranians and Jews. Jewish history in Iran stretches back more than 2,500 years to the era of the Persian Empire. During World War II, that long history intersected with one of Europe's darkest chapters. The passport wasn't just paper. It meant time, escape, hope. In times of dictatorship and fear, bureaucracy can become a weapon. But sometimes, it can also become resistance. The exact number may never be known. The archives remain incomplete. The debates continue. But somewhere in occupied Paris, families who faced disappearance were handed documents bearing another nation's seal. And for some of them, that seal may have meant survival.